Government shutdown for dummies. Congress is split up into two parts, the House of Representatives, which is controlled by the Republicans, and the Senate, which is made up of mostly Democrats. They failed to meet their October 1st budget deadline, which is what caused the shutdown. Now, normally both sides can agree to something called the continuing resolution, which prevents a shutdown and extends the budget negotiations. But now the Republicans are basically extorting the Senate to get what they want, which is the defunding of Obamacare, even though it was passed by the Supreme Court about 3 years ago. Now, the longer this goes, Republicans, whether they be libertarians, Tea Partiers, will consider this a victory. First, because of fundraising. There are some wealthy people out there whom you'll never see. Right-wingers, the kind of person who's outraged at the contraceptive mandate in Obamacare. They will fund Republican campaigns until the Affordable Care Act is nothing but a memory. And that's not to say that the same thing doesn't occur on the Democratic side. That's not a conspiracy theory, it's just politics. The second victory is by proving their mantra. The government is way too saturated with programs we don't need. It has too much control. 800,000 people are at home with no pay and civilization is still functioning. And the third victory comes in the form of the 2016 presidential election, whether it be Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, Paul Ryan, whoever becomes the Republican nominee will speak to their party as a champion to rival Obamacare, because that worked so well in the last election. The conservative movement is a lot like the NBA in the sense that it's a star-driven league, and in order to get some power, you might have to stand up for a full 21 hours, even if it means not getting your point across. Okay, a little something about Obamacare now. Let's say I can't get it from my employer, I can't get it from the government, and I just can't afford it. Well, Obama's figured out a way to get his paws on me with the individual mandate, meaning you will be forced to get insurance, and if you don't, you'll have to pay a fine. Now, that mandate might be delayed, and it's not quite clear on how much you'll have to pay, but I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but if you take my money and I have no say in the matter, on the streets, that's called stealing. And at the federal level, that's called a fucking tax. Or why can't I just wait until I get sick? Anyway, if you're Obama, what happens when the debt ceiling isn't raised and Americans can't pay their bills on time? Well, this is his second term, and right now he's got a one-track mind. Obamacare is his masterpiece, his Illmatic, his Mona Lisa, and if a couple 100,000 people have to be out of work for a week to a month, fuck them, because they're already sucking on the government's teat to feed their meaningless lives, right? Some will get reimbursed after all this is over, and some will have to take the hit. No one voted for the guy who said he would defund Obamacare. You voted for this guy. So you said you wanted omelets. Now what's a couple of eggs? Right? Am I right? Right. See, this is why I don't vote.